So is this a new rip your face off bull market? I don't know what's going to end up happening, but I can tell you that it sure feels like it. 2023 this year has been hot. The market has been going straight up, and especially in the face of bad news. The market has many different phases and sentiment shifts all the time, but this year, good news is good news, bad news is good news. It doesn't matter what it is. It seems that everything just continues to trend to the upside. So far, year to date, the SPY alone is up 18.93%. And that's as of June 14th. We still obviously have a little bit to go, but crazy returns so far. And check out the yearly chart to the left of SPY. So there was a lot of uncertainty for a while. Honestly, down here towards that 350 area, it looked like things were pretty bad. But the moment when things look the worst, it's funny how the market tends to turn. It gets everybody caught on one side, and then it does the opposite. It feels like that's obviously happened. So had a nice move higher, kind of in consolidation, and then it got above this prior high right around 419. And then since it's been ripping to the upside, and even this prior high over here, which is right around 431. So you had a very big area, or call it a huge channel of sideways trading, a lot of uncertainty, nobody knowing what's really going to happen. There's a lot of random things out there in the world, and it just doesn't feel very great. Possible recession, inflation, all these negative things. But in the face of all of that, the market continues to go higher, and it's above some pretty big resistance areas. So who knows how high it can go. As of right now, with the way the market has been this year, it feels like there could be a possible short squeeze. And anybody who has a bearish bet on the market could be on the wrong side of it. Now, that doesn't mean that that has to happen. A lot of times the market will do the opposite of how a lot of people are positioned. I know right now there's a lot of people that believe the market is going to come in. And here's an article from Business Insider saying that hedge funds are the most bearish they've been since 2011. And that could set the stock market up for a massive short squeeze. Now, you could argue that if Business Insider is saying that there could be a short squeeze, then the opposite may happen. But if this is true, if hedge funds are the most bearish they've been in over a decade, and they are positioned to the short side, and things continue to go up, you're talking about a lot of money that's going to be betting for the market to go down. And that's what can happen. You need a lot of people positioned the other way, and then the market needs to have a pretty strong move in that opposite direction, and that's when that squeeze could possibly happen. Also, there's a lot of money on the sidelines that are underinvested. So you're talking about people that are going to want exposure to the market to the upside, as well as having a lot of hedge funds that are positioned to the downside. That could potentially be the perfect storm to cause a crazy short squeeze and maybe even see new all-time highs this year, which would be insane. At the end of the day, I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen, but it's all about just trying to take all the information that I can gather and come up with the possibilities of what may happen. So you have some big money that's positioned to the short side in the face of a market that continues to go up, even on bad news. And then you have people on the sidelines that are underinvested. So that could cause for things to really get going in one direction, or at least in the direction that they've been going for a little bit now. So now let's break down the technicals. What's been going on as far as the 3-year weekly chart? Because there's the fundamental side of it, the economic side of it, and then now let's really break down the technicals to look at more details as far as technically where things are at and where they could possibly go. So this is the 3-year weekly chart of the SPY. So we're above that 420, which was a big area of resistance. We're above this 431, call it 430 area, big area of resistance. Look at this weekly candle forming. That's a pretty bullish candle, even though it is extended to the upside. I mean, things can always go a little bit farther than anybody anticipates. The next level of real resistance seems to be right around this 460. I mean, look at this really big area. Came up to it numerous times, broke below it, got back above. A lot of chop in this area, so clearly that's a very serious level. And then even pushed up to it on the weekly here and completely failed and started a really big sell-off from that area. So 460, major area of resistance. Once it gets through 460, it looks like it has the green light to possibly make new all-time highs at 479.98. And if you add a lot of money to the short side as far as the hedge funds and people on the sidelines being underinvested, the market continues to trend higher. If it makes new all-time highs, that's where I would think if anybody's short, they would probably want to get out of the way. Because if something is making new all-time highs and I'm short or somebody else is short, that would probably be where they'd want to get out of their positions. Now, if they're stubborn, they'll keep hanging on, and that could create more momentum to the upside. And once something gets going in one direction and momentum is behind it, it's hard to stop it. I have no idea what's going to happen, but this is just my idea of what could possibly happen based on a little bit of research, the way people are positioned, the fact that there's a lot of money on the sidelines, and what's currently happening in the market, not fighting price. This is a very interesting topic right now. I'm leaning more in the camp of new bull market, possible new all-time highs, but I could be wrong. I'm interested to see what you think. Leave it in the comments below. Are we in a new bull market? Is this a bull trap and things are going to roll over? What do you think is going to happen in 2023 and the years moving forward?